Your grandparents bought furniture once, a solid oak dresser, a real wood dining table, a couch with an actual hardwood frame. 60 years later, that furniture still works. You buy a dresser today from any major retailer for $400. It is made of particleboard, wood chips, and sawdust, held together with urea formaldehyde resin. The moment you open the box, that resin starts releasing formaldehyde gas into your home. Not for a day, not for a week, for up to 5 years. The International Agency for Research on Cancer classifies formaldehyde as a Group 1 carcinogen, the same category as asbestos and tobacco smoke. And it is in nearly every piece of affordable furniture sold in America right now. When most people buy furniture, they look at the surface, the color, the style, the price. And when the new piece arrives and smells like chemicals, they call it the new furniture smell and open a window. That smell is not newness. It is a volatile organic compound called formaldehyde, escaping from the adhesives inside engineered wood. And it is just one of 10 problems hiding inside the furniture you sit on, sleep on, and put in your children's rooms. Today, we will explain what is actually inside modern furniture, what it is doing to your health, why it falls apart in 3 years, and what to buy instead. This is quality rot. The core of most affordable furniture, dressers, desks, bookshelves, bed frames, and entertainment centers is particleboard or medium-density fiberboard, known as MDF. Both are manufactured by binding wood particles or fibers together with urea formaldehyde resin. That resin off-gasses formaldehyde into the surrounding air, a process that is most intense when the product is new, but continues for years. According to the EPA, indoor air can be 2 to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air. Formaldehyde is a significant contributor. Short-term exposure causes irritation of the eyes, nose, and throat, coughing, wheezing, and allergic reactions. Long-term exposure has been linked to respiratory disorders and cancer. The CDC confirms formaldehyde has been proven to increase the risk of allergies and asthma in children. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development first identified particleboard and medium-density fiberboard as major sources of indoor formaldehyde in 1984. In 2007, California passed the first emission limits through the Air Resources Board. In 2010, Congress passed the Formaldehyde Standards for Composite Wood Products Act. Even under these regulations, emission limits allow 0.09 to 0.13 parts per million, reduced but not eliminated. Off-gassing peaks in the first 72 hours to 2 weeks after unboxing. In poorly ventilated rooms, a bedroom, a nursery, or a home office, concentrations can be 2 to 5 times higher than in open spaces. And in warmer temperatures, the release rate accelerates. Your furniture is gassing harder in the summer. But the chemicals inside the wood are only half the problem. What is in the cushions might be worse. For decades, polyurethane foam, the standard filling in sofas, chairs, and mattresses, was loaded with chemical flame retardants to meet flammability standards. The most common were polybrominated diphenyl ethers, known as PBDES, halogenated compounds linked to cancer, thyroid disruption, reproductive harm, and neurodevelopmental delays in children, including lower IQ scores and behavioral issues like hyperactivity and inattention. PBDES were voluntarily phased out in the United States between 2004 and 2013. They were replaced with organophosphate flame retardants, chemicals linked to similar health concerns, including diabetes, neurological disorders, and endocrine disruption. These replacement compounds migrate out of the foam, accumulate in house dust, and are absorbed through skin contact and inhalation. They often move from the furniture into the home where people, especially children, are exposed every day. California's Technical Bulletin 117, the de facto national flammability standard since 1975, was finally revised in 2014 to reduce the need for chemical flame retardants. The federal standard followed in 2020. Furniture manufactured before those dates and some manufactured after, still contains these chemicals. Studies have found flame retardant compounds in the blood of nearly every American tested, including children. The foam is toxic, and when it catches fire, it becomes something else entirely. Number 3. High flammability and toxic smoke. Polyurethane foam, the material inside virtually every affordable sofa and chair, is petroleum-based. It ignites faster, burns hotter, and produces more toxic smoke than any natural filling material. Research has shown that most fatal residential fires involve upholstered furniture. The majority of fire deaths result not from burns, but from toxic gas inhalation. When polyurethane foam burns, it releases hydrogen cyanide, carbon monoxide, and a cocktail of carcinogenic compounds. Gas phase flame retardants, the ones added to slow the fire, actually increase the toxicity of the smoke by causing incomplete combustion and producing denser, more opaque fumes. A modern living room with synthetic furniture can reach flashover, the point at which everything in the room ignites in under 4 minutes. 40 years ago, with natural material furniture, that window was closer to 30 minutes. The furniture industry gave you cheaper materials and shorter escape times in the same product. Number 4. PFAS, forever chemicals in performance fabrics. And the chemicals do not stop at the foam. The fabric wrapping it has its own problem. Many upholstery fabrics marketed as stain-resistant, water-repellent, or performance fabric are treated with perfluoroalkyl and polyfluoroalkyl substances, PFAS. These are the forever chemicals. They do not break down in the environment. They do not break down in your body. PFAS exposure has been linked to cancer, immune system suppression, thyroid disease, reproductive harm, and elevated cholesterol. These chemicals migrate off the fabric through direct contact, and they accumulate in household dust. The Environmental Working Group has documented PFAS contamination in the blood of nearly all Americans. You bought a stain-resistant sofa to protect it from your kids. The coating that repels the juice is contaminating your kids, and the fabric itself will not last long enough to matter. Synthetic upholstery fabrics, polyester microfiber, polyurethane faux leather, and low-grade blended fabrics are marketed as durable. They are not. Microfiber snags, pills, and clumps with regular use. Faux leather peels, cracks, and flakes within 2 to 4 years, sometimes sooner in warm or humid climates. Low-grade polyester fades, stretches, and loses its texture. The performance fabrics that resist staining often sacrifice breathability and longevity for chemical treatment. A natural cotton, linen, or wool upholstery on a quality frame lasts 15 to 25 years. A polyester microfiber sofa from a big box retailer lasts 3 to 5 years before it looks and feels like it belongs on the curb. The industry has replaced materials that age gracefully with materials that simply age. And while they are aging, they are unpleasant to sit on. Section 6. Uncomfortable and non-breathable. Synthetic fabrics, particularly polyurethane, faux leather, and low-grade polyester, trap heat against the body. They do not wick moisture. In warm climates or during extended use, they feel hot and sticky and uncomfortable compared to natural fibers like cotton, linen, and wool. Polyurethane foam cushions compress unevenly over time, losing support in the areas that carry the most weight. Within 1 to 2 years, the seat spot flattens permanently. The cushion cannot be flipped because the foam was cut to a single shape. It cannot be restuffed because the cover was not designed to be opened. You replace the entire cushion or the entire sofa. The furniture was designed to be bought, not to be lived with. Cleaning it does not help. Synthetic fabrics build up static charge, so they attract dust, pet hair, and fine particles that embed deeply in the weave. Unlike natural fibers, which can often be professionally cleaned without damage, many synthetic upholstery fabrics spot when wet cleaned, show water rings when blotted, and pill when scrubbed. Stain-resistant coatings, often the same PFAS compounds described earlier, degrade over time. losing effectiveness within 1 to 3 years. Once the coating fails, the synthetic fabric beneath becomes harder to clean than an untreated natural fiber would have been. And the surface is not the only thing that looks cheap. Laminated particle board printed to look like walnut, vinyl wraps stamped with a marble pattern, melamine surfaces molded to imitate natural wood grain. These finishes fool nobody in person. They chip, peel, and delaminate with regular use, exposing the raw, engineered wood beneath, which then absorbs moisture, swells, and disintegrates. Real wood develops a patina. It ages into character. Laminate peels into garbage. The industry replaced craftsmanship with a photograph glued to sawdust, and the material under that photograph is structurally dangerous. Number 9. Structural weakness and poor craftsmanship. MDF and particle board cannot hold screws the way solid wood does. The material is dense but brittle. Fasteners loosen with use, and joints fail under lateral stress. Shelves sag under moderate loads. The moment moisture reaches exposed MDF, from a spill, a humid room, or a move in the rain, it swells irreversibly. Flat pack furniture relies on cam locks, dowels, and particle-to-particle compression for structural integrity. Every time you move the piece, even across a room, those connections weaken. A solid wood table can be disassembled and reassembled indefinitely. An MDF bookshelf survives one move, maybe two. By the third move, the screw holes are stripped and the joints are loose. Consumer reports consistently show that budget furniture from major retailers arrives with inaccurate measurements, misaligned holes, and hardware that does not match the instructions. The product was not designed for precision. It was designed for price. And when it breaks, and it will, there is nothing to do with it except throw it away. Solid wood furniture can be sanded, refinished, repaired, and resold for decades. It holds value. A well-made oak dining table from the 1960s is worth more today than when it was purchased. Particle board, MDF, and laminated furniture cannot be refinished. It cannot be meaningfully repaired. When the laminate chips or the particle board swells, the piece is finished. It goes to the landfill, where the formaldehyde resin, flame retardants, and PFAS treated fabrics sit indefinitely, leaching chemicals into soil and groundwater. Americans throw away approximately 12 million tons of furniture per year. The majority of it is composite and synthetic material that took chemicals and fossil fuels to produce, poisoned the air while you owned it, and will poison the ground after you discard it. Your grandparents' oak dresser is still in someone's house. Your particle board dresser is in a landfill already. What to buy instead? Number 3. If you must buy new and affordable, look for CARB Phase 2 or TS/CA title 6 compliance on any composite wood product. Look for Green Guard Gold certification, which limits total volatile organic compound emissions to under 220 micrograms per cubic meter. This does not eliminate the risk. It reduces it to a measurable standard. Number 2. Buy used solid wood furniture. Estate sales, antique shops, consignment stores, and online resale markets are full of dressers, tables, and bookshelves made from real wood with real joinery. A $200 vintage oak dresser from the 1970s will outlast a $400 new particle board dresser by 30 years. The off-gassing is long finished. The formaldehyde is gone. The structure is proven, and it costs less. Number 1. If you are buying new, buy solid hardwood. From a maker who names the wood species, the joinery method, and the finish. The finish should be water-based, natural oil, or wax, not polyurethane lacquer over particle-filled composite. The frame of upholstered furniture should be kiln-dried hardwood, not pine, not plywood, not particle board. The cushions should be natural latex, down, or high-resilience foam certified to Certipur-YAS or Green Guard standards. The fabric should be natural fiber, cotton, linen, or wool without PFAS treatment. This costs more up front. It costs dramatically less over 10 years. A $3,000 solid wood sofa that lasts 20 years costs $150 a year. A $1,000 particle board and foam sofa that lasts 4 years costs $250 a year, before you add the health cost of breathing formaldehyde in your bedroom for half a decade. The expensive furniture is the cheap furniture. That is not a slogan. It is math. Before you buy any piece of furniture, perform 3 checks. The material test. Flip the piece over. Read the label. If it says particle board, MDF, engineered wood, or manufactured wood, you are buying a chemical-emitting composite with a photograph glued to the surface. If the label does not say what the material is, assume the worst. The smell test. Open the box. If you can smell chemicals, that sharp, acrid new furniture odor, you are inhaling formaldehyde and volatile organic compounds. The stronger the smell, the higher the emission rate. If you would not inhale it intentionally, do not put it in your bedroom. The certification test. Look for Green Guard Gold, CertiPure Us, or FSC certified solid wood. If the product carries none of these, and most affordable furniture does not, you have no independent verification that the chemical emissions are within any safety standard. Here is the rule for furniture that will not rot on you, or rot you from the inside. Check the material. Check the smell. Check the certification. If the material is particle board, the smell is chemical, and there is no certification, you are not buying furniture. You are buying a formaldehyde delivery system wrapped in a photograph of wood, stuffed with petroleum foam, coated in forever chemicals, and engineered to reach the landfill in 3 to 5 years. Your grandparents' furniture lasted 60 years because it was made of real material by someone who knew how to build. Modern furniture lasts 5 years because it was made of sawdust and glue by a machine optimized for margin, not lifespan. Subscribe